Alright, hey, we are here to talk about how we would remake an older movie, and we're going to talk about The Breakfast Club, which came out in 1985 and directed by John Hughes.
It is not actually a club about breakfast. Okay, so you want me to summarize it, Em?
Yes, I would love for you to summarize it.
Okay, so it's about these 5 teenagers. You got your standard jock, you got your standard nerd, you got the prom queen. I don't know why I just touched my hair for that, but
Prom queen.
fancy. I'm not a prom queen, but and then you got like the kind of alternative chick, and then you got like the stereotypical like, bad boy thing. So they're like all in detention on a Saturday, which really sucks for them. They all are like, oh, we don't want to be here. We don't want to have to write this essay that our teacher is gonna make us write. So instead, they bond. And they have a good time. And it teaches you a lot of things about understanding other people.
You just have a bunch of antics and stuff. It's kind of funny, kind of a drama. A good teen flick that, like, I don't know, it's kind of has, like, its own cult following. You know, like, people like it. It's on Tumblr a lot.
It's like a classic, like, a lot of people know about it.
Yeah. So, the original actors and actresses, I don't know, I mean, for the beauty, she's played by Molly Ringwald, which made sense for when it was made in 1985. And then Judd Nelson played the criminal. Ali Sheedy played the basket case, like the weird girl. I don't really know anything about her as an actress. Anthony Michael Hall played the nerd, and Emilio Estevez played the jock. And, like, those names are all kind of familiar to me. But, like, if we were to remake it, I feel like we'd have to reboot it with, like, teen, like, older stars, like an all-star cast that teens know about.
Yeah.
I feel like for the jock, that one's kind of easy. You do like Channing Tatum or Zac Efron, a guy who's just, good at playing like a dumb jock type of guy. And then I kind of feel like Emma Watson would be good for the basket case, like the alternative girl, because in Perks of Being a Wallflower, she was kind of like different too, and she played that pretty well. She has like the short hair and the dark eyes and dark hair. So I feel like she'd be pretty good. And then I said Ezra Miller for the criminal. He has like long black hair, just like Judd Nelson did in the movie, and he's pretty good at playing like a bad boy. Because he kind of did that in Wallflower too. They were both in that movie. And then for the princess, I'd say Chloe Grace Moretz. She can't think of what she's been in. I just know of her, and I know she's gonna be in the new Neighbors movie as like the leader of a sorority. She's really pretty and blonde. It just seems to make sense. And I was thinking Michael Cera. Oh, I spelled it like I spelled your name instead of with a C.
There's no H in that though, Em. That's not my name.
Well, technically it's supposed to be Cera, but I was looking at you when I spelled it Sarah.
Could be.
Anyways, could be Cena.
Cena.
Anyways. Him as the nerd, because he's usually plays like a quiet, nerdy type kid. Yep.
He could rock a nerd part.
Yeah. Oh, we were supposed to review it. I don't know, you want to go first? You want to give your, like, review, like, how you feel about it? Because I feel like you like it.
About how, like, I feel about the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, cool. I really liked it as a movie. It was, like, made me feel like, when I first watched it, like, it made me, like, oh, shoot, the computer went down.
That was weird. Okay.
When I first watched it definitely does give you some laughs. It gives you some things like to think about, like accepting other types of people and like interacting with them. Because hey, even though there might be cliques, like it might be an experience to get to know other people and like different cliques. Emily, you look like you're looking at me like I'm stupid.
No,
it's okay.
I'm zoning out for a sec. It's finals week, right?
Same.
But yeah, I mean, it just kind of shines a good light on how like there's so many different kinds of people in high school, and you just have to learn to like accept all of them instead of like automatically being like, oh, there's the stereotypical prom queen, like she's probably brainless, and like there's the jock, he's probably brainless too, and like there's the weird girl, she's probably thinking about some weird stuff right now, but in the end they find out that they all like obviously contribute to society and like are smart and intelligent in their own ways.
True.
And stuff like that. So I just felt like it'd be pretty easy to make a modern version because all the stuff in it is still relevant today.
It's very familiar by like teens and adults.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of people know about it. It's still kind of relevant. So like it would probably have a good following today if people were interested in it.
It helps that it was on Netflix for a while too, because that's how I watched it. Because I hadn't heard about it, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. I'll give it a shot. But
To be honest, my mom was like, my senior year of high school, my mom was like, we gotta show Sarah all like the classic movies because that's what she has to know for college, and so that's how I knew it because she deemed that a classic. So
that's a good reason
that
too.
Plus like 16 Candles and those kind of movies.
Yeah, that's Molly Ringwald too, right? I think it's the same girl. Yeah, I have that somewhere. I just have to watch it.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, I'll watch that one too. But shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, oh yeah, just more about like making the movie more relatable in a modern way by having like stars that like teens know and follow. I don't know. It'd be funny if like Taylor Swift played the beauty. It'd be kind of funny.
There'd be memes making of that.
Bro, that'd be really funny. In terms of the director, I mean, I don't really know anything about John Hughes or like his other work, but I just kind of thought about movies that Sofia Coppola has made, and I really like her as a director. And I could see her remaking this. She's made movies before about like young teens, like she did The Virgin Suicides, and she did something else called like the Something Squad. But anyways, I could just envision that pretty easily. So yeah. What else could we talk about? I don't know what else. What else could we change? It's in the 80s. Obviously the music. Change the music.
Although I think like just for like nostalgia sake or whatever, I think we should do, if we were to change it, we should still keep the Don't You Forget About Me. I think that's a classic. It's directly associated. I feel like a lot of people associate that with the Breakfast Club. I feel like that's like, oh, that's the Breakfast Club song.
Yep.
And so we gotta have Don't You Forget About Me in that.
Yeah, I feel like it could either be remade and like rebooted and like set in modern times, or they could just remake it and still have it take place in the 80s. I feel like either way it'd be kind of cool.
There's a certain kind of like atmosphere that kind of encompasses it with like 80s movies.
Yeah, I kind of might like that more. It might like make sense because those stereotypes are still there, but I feel like in movies, why does it keep doing that? Movies in the 80s, it just like that was a pretty solid thing that like those stereotypes existed in high schools and stuff. Like I don't know, when I went to high school, the jocks and the cheerleaders weren't like a huge thing. That became more of a stereotype to me when I came here. I don't know.
I feel like if we were to make it in like a modern day times, I feel like it would almost seem like kind of like Disney-esque.
Like, it would seem like a Disney Channel movie, like a super teeny movie.
Yeah, like like oh I'm this girl and this is the story of a Saturday.
Yeah, it would seem like a lot more cliche. I feel like
it would be a lot more
keeping
cliche.
it in the 80s would be better. I feel like if it was in modern times, you know, the princess would be like, she'd be like always on her phone, and she'd be like, I don't know, like worried about her image on social media and stuff. And the jock would kind of be too, and he'd be like obsessed with like high school jocks at my high school were obsessed with like their highlight reels, and they'd like post about it all the time, like go watch my highlight reels, get all the colleges to see it. So that's like what he'd be concerned with all the time. I don't know, how was it your school?
Well, at my school, it was like, I feel like it was kind of stereotypical high school, like, except, like, if you could hang out with the cheerleaders, if it wasn't like, oh, you're not a cheerleader.
Yeah.
You can't hang out with us.
I don't think that's as much as a stigma anymore, but I still feel like the stereotypes and the theme itself is relevant. The theme of, like, there's all different kinds of people that you'll run into in life, and you can't, like, make quick judgments about them and, like, be shallow about that, and you have to like know how to work with all different types of people.
You can't dismiss them because oh man, this one girl, she looks really weird.
Yeah, like by her clothes and stuff. Like everybody was concerned about like the weird girl because she was wearing like all black clothing and like really dark eyeliner. Could mean anything. I don't know. I love wearing black. It's the best thing ever. You don't have to worry about it not matching.
You're wearing black right now.
I am wearing black right now.
Wonderful.
Yeah. It kind of like serves to remind you that like it's hard to explain, but like in most cases those stereotypes aren't true. Like I guess I talked about that earlier, but like the princess, you know, maybe she's not really full of herself, you know, like she's pretty and that's great, but like she actually has like great ideas and like she's actually an intelligent person who like cares about stuff. And the jock, you know, like he cares about more than just sports too, which is the case as you get older, obviously.
Or maybe like the nerd really likes like a certain kind of sport.
Exactly.
he-
Yep.
But
Like I'm a huge nerd, but I also love sports.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just kind of how we feel about this movie. What we think we could change to make it better, or different, or more modern. So,
I
yeah,
really like The Breakfast Club.
it's a good movie. Recommended.
Glad my mom made me watch it.
Yes, definitely recommended.
10 out of 10.
Peace.